do, I'll show you again here so that we can get through it. Just go to applications and we'll configure it. Okay. So first thing that I'm doing is I'm making my ID aware about database. Okay. So that's what I will do. I'll go to Window, Show View, and then I'll go to Data Management, Data Source Explorer. Okay. Here I'll be creating a new connection. I have to do this because my system was crashed. So go to Next, select the driver. I'll select this one. Right? We have done installation on each one of your machines, so that should not be an issue. Add JARs. Now, when we go and add JARs, we'll look for MySQL connector. In this we'll have this jar file. Click on Open. Jar is there. Then I'll go to Properties, and what I'll do is I will add here test. Database is MySQL. User ID is root. Password is nothing in my case. In your case, whatever is password you have to use. Then click on test, and we'll find that thing succeed. Okay. Click on Next. Click on Finish. So if you see now you have your database available here. Whatever you want to do, you can do here itself instead of going to any other app. Okay. It's clear, right? So this is what is setting up the environment. Is that clear, Fariha, now? Okay. As I told you that when I will do it, things will seem to be simple, but you have to do it at your end also in order to actually understand and remember it. Okay. Now next, as I told you that when we talk about ORM, first resource that we have to create is configuration, which I call as config metadata. In Hibernate, we do that by using what? Configuring Hibernate CFG.xml. We will go and select this, click on Next. Right, and let name be Hibernate CFG.xml because this is what is the default name. You can give whatever name you want, right? But when we go and create session pathway at that point of time, if you are not specifying name of the XML file, it will by default look for this. And just go and click on Next. I will select dialect. Importance of dialect is and you can go and select the driver class. URL also you can specify the same URL which you have specified there. I'll just go and write here localhost 3306/test. Username is root. I'm not specifying any password. These are some of the basic parameters which actually we have to use in order to at least tell our ORM that he has to create connection with which database in order to execute queries on behalf of us. So we'll just go here. You see all properties are specified. Now there are certain properties which are important from perspective of ORM. This is how you comment in XML. For example, you want to log on console, or you want to ensure that if tables are not there, they are created. Create table if does not exist, and all this is done by specifying certain properties which I am going to do here. Property name Hibernate.show equal, and I'll pass here the value called true. Same thing again, we'll take one property name equal to a tool that helps us to generate Hibernate.hbm to ddl.auto, and I'll specify here update. Right now, apart from that update, you can specify create, drop. Right, if you will not specify this, then Hibernate will expect that you have created a table and they are there. Okay, so these two are other important properties. Apart from this, if you want to configure cache, you have several other properties which you can use. For example, cache configuration. Right, so I have to tell you what is cache and all that. I will tell you when time comes. But as of now, please remember that cache configuration can also be done here. Right, security related configuration also can be done here. You can configure various listeners also here. Right, so this is the place where you will be specifying all configurations that you want to be loaded when your session factory gets created. Okay, is that clear? Fine. Next, what we did, Anurag, if you remember, we went and we created entity code, right, which are supposed to be mapped to our table. I'll just go to SRC, right click, new class, and I'll keep all my entities in a package form.entities, and here I'll take a class, you say user info. Click on finish. There are certain rules that you have to follow. This is our entity Pojo. The rules that you will follow is class must be public. In single line I'll write must have default. Yeah, this is what is the Pojo class. Yes, must have default constructor. Yes, right. Must have setters and getters. Okay, and you should never use finalize. These are the rules that you have to follow. Now I'll go and I'll declare int user ID, string username, string user type, right? These becomes what? These are the attributes. And now what I'll do, I'll just go source generate setter and getters. For each one of them I will generate setter and getters. Click on code. Is that clear? Fine. So next is I have to provide mapping metadata where we have to specify what table is mapped to what class, what attribute is mapped with what attribute of your table, right? In order to do that, we can go and we can create mapping.xml. So I will not generate today, I will create on my own. I'll just go here next. I don't need this because I'm creating my own. Next, and I'll name it as blog project.html.xml. Click on finish. Right. Now I'll go to source. So if you see now we have to map our classes with table. That is what is objective of it. I'll just go and say what is the package which contains my entity classes. I can go and write form.entities. And now we'll take up class, right? Two important attributes, name of the class and name of the table. We go here. Now your class, your table can have attributes of following type. You see, attribute that translates into primary key. And here we have in user info, we have the attribute called as user ID. We will do that in order to ensure that we are able to tell our ORM that we are covering mapping, Anurag. Okay. Yeah, it is continuation of last time because in last session we did this only, right, Pariha? Yes. So it's continuation of last time only. Only thing is there we generated, now I am writing. Right. So we have user ID which probably will be the primary key in our table. So for that we have to use ID. Okay. So ID tells your ORM that current attribute that you are using in your Pojo will be mapped with the column which will be primary key in the table. Okay. I'll take here user ID which is mapped to some table, some column which is UID, and then you have to specify generator, right? Because you know you have various ways in order to actually handle primary key. For example, in Oracle you have something called a sequence which auto generates primary key, right? So you have to tell your ORM whether you want to auto generate primary key or you want to assign. So I will go with assign. I'll just go here and take assigned. I'll just take assigned. Assigned means what? It will not get auto generated. Developer, whoever is creating instance, they have to go and they have to specify the primary key. Okay. Is that clear? Anurag, are you getting now? You are following, right? What for auto generated? There are various. Anurag, we are talking about mapping of your, we are managing persistence layer. In last session we discussed, right? You have ORM which takes responsibility of generating all the queries on behalf of developer going and writing hard coded queries. Okay. Have you gone through video of previous session? Yeah, I picked it up to assist her, but again, like I want you to follow this because in EGB we are left up with timer, and then we will start up with JMS and all. So better if you can follow this also. If you are not, let me. You can ask me questions so that I can help you out. So we need to manage persistence. Okay, persistence management is done using various ways. For example, you can write direct JDBC, where you will be writing lots of code to prepare statement, get connection and all. Now Hibernate is a lightweight ORM which says that why object-oriented developers need to bother about queries, right? So just provide us metadata where you can tell what class is mapped to what table, so that when you go and save an instance, your ORM takes responsibility of generating the required insert query, okay, or update query or delete query, right? So your focus will be more on working on objects, right? So your development will be object oriented rather than being procedure oriented as we do in SQL, right? So in order to map that, each ORM has its own way, its own grammar which it understands, right? So we created Hibernate CFG.xml so that we can tell ORM that we are going to connect to which database, right? That is what we have done here: property name, driver class, URL, user name, dialect, and if you have password, you can specify password also. I don't have password, so I'm not specifying any password, right? And then you want to customize your ORM also, that I want my ORM to go and generate tables if they are not there, right? I want whatever queries are getting generated to be logged on the console, right? So for that we have specified this. So you can customize your ORM environment as well as you can specify properties which are used in order to connect to database. Okay. You will see how simplified your program is in terms of, because today I'm going to complete the CREYD, create, read, update, insert, delete. Okay. Now, Anurag, are you getting now? Okay. Now, why we are writing this HBM? We are writing this HBM so that my ORM is aware that which class is mapped with what table. So I write here my user info class is mapped with a table. I can go and take user info and I can specify here table. For example, I'm writing user info underscore table. This is what is name of my table. Fine. If it is not there, it will get created. Why it will get created? Because we have specified here HBM to DBL.auto update. So when your Hibernate finds that there is no corresponding table for the class, it goes and it creates that table. You can restrict it by passing here none. If you will pass here none, it will not go and create table. It will accept that you have already created the table and that table exists. Is that clear? You understood this line? Fine. Now comes what type of columns will be there in table. In tables, you will have definitely primary key because they have to enforce entity integrity consent where each and every row is uniquely identified. But in case of object oriented, there is no concept as such when you say primary key. So your ORM should know that which attribute of your class is mapped with a column which is a primary key. So for that you are using ID opening and ID closing. Pariha, is that clear? Anurag? Okay, fine, good. Now there are various ways in which you can go and handle primary keys, like you can have auto-generated primary keys, or you want your developers to go and assign primary keys. What we have taken assign. So this column is mapped. Now if you see this username and user type, these are normal properties. So for normal properties, in mapping you have to go and use property. Name is username, property, name is user type. Now if I will not specify here column name, right, by default it will assume column name and attribute name to be similar. So it will look for what column? Username column, user type column. So if you don't specify this column, by default it will assume that name of the column in the table is also username and user type. Is that fine, Anurag? Okay. Pariya, is that fine? So you are getting clarity now? Okay, fine. Next, I have specified all the mappings here. I'll save it. Now you will go to Hibernate CSV.xml and you have to go and tell Hibernate that, see, I have an HBM file that you have to load when you are booting up the ORM. You have to just go click on add here, browse, and select the HBM file or HBM's file. You can have more than one HBM also, so that Hibernate can go and it can load these classes that you have defined in this HBM file. Is that clear? Okay, fine. Believe me, your ORM is set. Now you need to go and do persistence activity, which includes insert, update, delete, get, right? And that's what we are going to do now. I'll just go and write a client, new project, new class. I'll write here client. I'll take public static void main, click on select. See, HBM is not necessary that we should have HBM, but if you see, the minute we see HBM.HBM file, we are able to understand, right, that this is mapping file. Similarly, when I say .cfg, we understand, okay, this is configuration file. Just in order to help you in quickly understanding what is the objective of this XML, you can go and add these extensions. Otherwise, even if you write block project.xml, it's fine. Is that clear? Okay. And so now we are going to write client. Now you see, you have to place your request to ORM. In order to place your request to ORM, so that ORM can invoke database connections and can do the task, you have to use certain APIs, right? Basically what you have to do, you have to go and load this information so that you get a session factory, and using this session factory you can invoke session to Hibernate, and in turn Hibernate can invoke session to database. Now when your Hibernate will try to invoke session to database, it will use these properties which you have specified here. Is that fine? So we need to know certain APIs here, out of which first one, which is important one, is configuration. Now you have to ensure that you are taking configuration from the right package. You are taking it from the right package, org.hibernate.cfg.configuration. I'll create here an object, cfg equal to new configuration. Now when I create this, it creates an configuration object without any property value. Now I want to load all property values that I have specified in this hibernate.cfg.xml. In order to ask your ORM that you want to load now all properties which are specified there, what we need to do is we need to go and we need to make call to a method called as dot configure. Okay, right? So when you make call to this method called as dot configure, what it does, it goes and reads your Hibernate CFG.xml and makes configuration ready. Okay, so that you can get the second object, and that second object is session factory. Okay, we need session factory so that we can invoke sessions. Is that clear? Anurag, is that clear? Good. Now once you have session factory, next is let's invoke session and ask our Hibernate to go insert, update and delete. Okay, we'll do it one by one so that you understand. I need a session. Be careful here because session also is there in the previous one. You have to take from org.hibernate equal to factory dot open session. Now, if good practice is, if you are opening session after your task is done, you should go and close the session also. Okay, clear? Now, since we know that database is a shared resource, you will have multiple other applications trying to do certain tasks in that database, and particularly they might also try to do some task in the table which you are going to access now. Okay, this is the reason why Hibernate says that I will work in isolation. I will always start a transaction, right, so that I can ensure asset properties are retained. So you will go and you will get a transaction. If you see control space, please take transaction from org.hibernate equal to session dot begin transaction. Once you will begin transaction, you have to end transaction. Ending transaction means either commit or rollback. Anurag, is that clear? So now this is general template that you will use. Now I want to insert an object of user info. Now see, I am a developer. I am not aware about table name also. I am not aware about what is the database. Neither I am going to write query here. I will just create a new instance of equals to new user info and then populate this user with some value. Set user ID, let me take 111, then go and write user 1 dot, set some name also, right? Let me write here ABC and then set user 1 dot, set user type also, let me take here admin. Object is created and now it is populated with values. Next is I want to make sure that this data or this object is now present in my table also. I'll just use one statement of that session dot save. The minute I do this, pass the object, automatically query will be generated by who? By your OI, right? You can retain object-oriented programming principles as a developer. Okay, is that clear? Now, one the file is missing from here, and that's our file is database driver, which must be present. And just go to Java build path, libraries, add external star, take my This is how you will be inserting and full. Right? We just ensure that reference length is continuous. I'll run it. Now it is running. Now are you able to see? Unlike query is generated, right? Hello? Hello?
Niranjan, we are not able to hear you properly.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. You are able to see my desktop?
Yeah, we can see the desktop, but like desktop also hangs in between, so we don't. I mean, suddenly you stop typing, and then at the moment suddenly we see like the code has changed a little bit. So it's like the connection doesn't seem to be good.
Are you able to see my desktop? Are you able to hear me now? Are you able to hear me now? Okay, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Hello. 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 Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. Right. Are you able to see the desktop now? Hello. Okay, fine. Right. Okay. So when you make call to this method called as save, right? When you make call to this method called as save, what it does is it generates queries automatically. Okay. This save generate this query. Is it clear? Oh my God. Are you able to hear me now? Hello. Are you able to hear me now? Pariha, are you able to hear me? Yes. So this will not be done until and unless you don't make call to save, because it is the save who is responsible to generate the query. It's not commit. Commit ensures that it commits the data permanently in the database. Okay. So until and unless you will not use the right method, it is not going to do that particular database operation. Now how to check that whether it's there in database or not? I never created this table actually. If I go to mapping, I never created this table called as user info underscore table. It got automatically created. Now because of what it got automatically created? It got automatically created because of this single line which is there here. Hibernate. Yes, right. Okay. Now I want to see. I'll be using Data Source Explorer. I'll just go and reconnect it once, because you know, like sometimes your Eclipse plugins may not work the way you want. So you can just go connect and then try to locate your table that you have created. I'll just go to schemas, and here we have table. We have to look for user underscore info table. Now you see it is there here, right, Anurag? And this table is created with the columns UID, username and type. Now I want to see what data is there. Right click data, edit. And you'll find here whatever you have specified in the object which you saved, that data comes to the database. Is that clear? So save is like insert. Don't dilute insert and commit. Insert is the statement and commit is a statement that ensures that it permanently saves the data in database. Okay? Right? We cannot use save for delete. For delete, I'm going to show you, we'll use different APIs. For update, also different API. I'm going to show you that. Now, for example, assume that, how can we say? No, Anurag, have you worked with Oracle? See what happens, there is a property called as set auto commit on and off, right? So if I do set auto commit off and I go and insert table, insert data in the table, and I write select star from the table, we will get the data during that session. But if I end that session and I start a new session, and when you write select star from that table, you will not get the data because it is not permanently saved. It is two-phase commit is what databases follows, right? Okay, fine. So when you go with commit, it means now you want to permanently commit the data to the database. Yes, you can write. You can have conditions here whether you want to commit or whether you want to roll back. You can write business logic and you can decide. Okay, right. Now let's go and update. Now I'll just comment this save so that this code is not deleted and we write update. Now what we want to update? Before we update, we need to go and get that particular data right from the database, and then you can go and update whatever values you want. Is that clear? It means now first select. If it is there, then update. If it is not there, don't go and update it. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm going and I'm declaring here. Yeah, getter will be used, but once your object you create, then you will be able to use getter, right? So your Hibernate will do what? It will go get the data from database, create an object, and then pass that object to you, on which you can make call to getters and all, right? So let's go and get it first. I'm writing here user info. Just wait. User info. I'll write here user equal to session. Instead of save, I will use get. Now when you get, you have to tell Hibernate that see, you get it from me, get data from database, and please create a class, an object of this particular class. So you have to pass here the structure of the bytecode also. And here you have to pass the ID which you want to specify for getting. Okay. So now this statement means you are asking your Hibernate to go to the database corresponding tables and get record where ID is 111 and create an instance of this particular class, right? Typecast it. Now this will do what? It will go and generate select query. Once you have this user, you want to change the name, right, of the user. So I'll go here and write user dot, right? I'll make call to setter, or what I can do is I will go and change the value user dot set username, pass here a new user name. We have to typecast Fariha because usually get returns object. It will not return user info. So you have to promote this object to user info. Okay. Right. So here I am changing the name now. After changing the name, I have to go and again make call to what? Session dot save or update. Okay. And I'll pass here to the user object. Now save or update does what? If user is present, it will go and update. If user is not present, it will go and save. Okay. Right. So what queries are expected here? This will go and get, and this will go and update. I'll save it and let's run it and see. Right click, run as Java application. Let it get terminated. Yes. Now you see. Yeah, I'll add yes. If user is not there in the table, it will insert instead of save, instead of update. With the same ID, no. ID should be different. Right. Is this clear? Because ID is the primary key, so you cannot expect your database to go and insert two different rows with the same primary key value. You will not be using get then, Fariha. You will not be using get. You have to create a new instance, and then you have to decide whether you have to you say save or you have to update. For example, you see, let's see this. Assume that I want to update, but I don't want to get an update. So what I can do, you see, I can just go and create an instance. Here, I'll go and I'll create an instance. User info, user equal to new user info. Right? And I'll go and I'll write user dot set user ID. And see, I'm passing the same user ID which is there, and I'm changing it to different name. You see, I'm changing it to different name. Right? Now, if I make call to save, you see what happens. This user with this ID is already present, and I'm trying to again save it. You see what happens. Run as Java application. it will tell you that, see, you have already one record with this particular ID, and it will generate error telling you that constraint violation is what you are doing. And you see, constraint violation, duplicate entry. But if I go and change it to save or update, if I go and change it to save or update, and then we pass this user, it will do what? If this user is there, it will update. If it is not there, it will insert. Now you see, it will go and get the user, and you see what it is doing? Update. It's clear? So either you go and get it, or you create an instance with that ID. It will go and try to get it. If it gets, it will update. If it will not get, it will insert. Now assume that I am trying to save or update here with 112, right? Now this ID is not there for here, right? See what save or update will do. I'll just right click, run as Java application. Now when it runs, you see it is trying to get, it never got that record. So what it did? It inserted. So are you able to understand now difference between save and save or update? Anurag, is that clear? Okay, thank you. Right. So this is how actually you will be handling insert and update. Okay. Now next is we know now what is how to update, how to insert, right? Let's go and see how to delete as well, right? In order to delete, what I'll do, I'll comment all this. I will get the record that I want to delete using get, and instead of using session save or update, method is very simple. If you might have written Hibernate, you might have also written the same thing, delete, and I'll pass here the object. Now what it does, it goes and gets and it deletes. Right, so if you see now, that record is deleted. So I believe that you are clear with insert, you are clear with update, you are clear with delete, you are clear with get. Get as of now is single row or single object. Why? Because get will always go and get it on basis of primary key, and we will not have more than one record with the same primary key value. Okay, so you can say get always generates single row query. But sometimes you may need to write queries which may return you more than one object. For example, if I want to get all users who are from a particular city, right? So in that case, if I will ask my Hibernate, he will definitely go and generate multiple objects, right? Now in order to help you in writing queries which are multi-row queries, Hibernate facilitates you with various options. You can go with a language called as HQL, which stands for Hibernate Query Language. Okay. You can also go with something called as criteria query. I'll be covering this in upcoming session. You can also go with native query. Sometimes you will like to directly hit database. You can go with native queries also. And then every time writing queries in .java file, and whenever you are changing, you have to go and recompile that Java file, right? Instead of that, why can't we go and write our queries in hbm.xml, right? Those queries which you specify in hbm.xml are called as named query, right? So you have HQL, you have criteria query, you have native query, you have named query. All these are various ways in which actually you can go and talk to Hibernate requesting him to execute queries which may return more than one object. Okay, it's clear. Now SQLJ is not for Hibernate. Hibernate has its own querying language. SQL is there, criteria query is there. You can write native queries or you can go with named query. As told to you, we will be discussing on this in the upcoming session. Okay, is that clear? So can I assume that now you are clear with how to insert, update, delete, and get? When I say get, it is single row query. Okay, which is always based on primary key value. Is that clear? Fine. Now let me take one very good example in order to help you in understanding the basic difference which is there between object-oriented analysis or object model and database model. See, when we talk about object model, in object model we will definitely have inheritance, right? Because a program which is designed without inheritance and polymorphism is not treated to be object-oriented, right? But your databases will not understand what actually is inheritance. Right? As of now, we have taken up a simple example where user info does not have subclasses. But what if we have subclasses? Because Java provides polymorphic nature when you go with implementation of inheritance, right? Like you get overriding, overloading kind of features. Now I am going to show you an example where you will come to know how actually as a mapping professional, as an ORM professional, you will come in between and negotiate between database and your object model, right? So shall we do that? A very simple practical example. Anurag will do that. Okay, good. Now you see we have here user info, right? Now let me take here a very common example of payment. Whenever we talk about customer buying product or something, he has to pay, and payment can be of various modes, like you can pay by credit card or you can pay by check or through check, right? There are various payment modes, right? So our analyst came up with a class model or an object model where he said payment will be the super class, and then we will have credit card payment and check payment as their subclasses. Okay, right? So let's implement that first and then move to deciding what should be the strategy of managing inheritance in our database and how ORM is going to handle it. So let me go and create those classes. New, I'll create a class. I'll name it as payment. Click on finish. And let me take common attribute here, int payment ID. This will be common, irrespective of whether it is credit card payment or it is cash payment. Fine. Yes. Yes, absolutely right, Faria. I'll go here and take string, or let me take double here. I'll take double amount. Whether you pay by credit card or you pay by cash or you pay by check, amount has to be specified. I'll just go and take source, generate setter and getters in order to quickly create the object. Right? Now my super class is ready. I'll go and create a subclass here. New class. I'll take here card payment. And this card payment extends payment. Click on finish, and let me take specific attribute. I'll take one of them, like string card number. You may think of other properties also. I'm just using that. You may think of expiry and all that also, right? I'll just go and take one. So card payment inherits all attributes of payment. Apart from that, it has its own. Just go to source, generate getter and setters. This class is also ready. Now just in order to complete the code, we will go and we'll take another subclass as well. New class. I'll take here check payment. And this class also extends payment. Click on OK, click on finish. So now we have here card payment class, which is subclass, and we have check payment. In check payment also I will take certain attributes which are specific to check payment. For example, I'll go here and take string check number, right? And that's it. There may be other properties also, but I'm just taking one. I'll take here, click on OK. So now my object model is ready. Okay. Now when whoever will come up with database model, he will definitely not think about inheritance. He will think about his objectives, right? He will ensure that entity integrity constraint is there applied. He will think about domain integrity constraint. He will ensure that proper normalization is done of the table. He will ensure that ACID properties are retained, right? All these will be his objectives. He will not think in terms of inheritance, polymorphism, right? It's clear. So here your ORMs, irrespective of whether you are using Hibernate or whether you are using top link, there are certain strategies, right, in order to help you in managing inheritance. Okay, let me talk about one strategy here. Strategy that I am going to adopt here is single table for hierarchy. Okay, there are three strategies. One is single table for hierarchy. Right. So for entire superclass subclasses or for entire family, you will have what? Only one table. Right. Second strategy is table per class. If each and every class will have one table. So check payment will have one table, card payment will have one table, and payment will have another table. Right. Then third strategy is table per concrete class, right? Assuming that my super class, which is payment, is abstract, because whenever payment will be done, it will be done in form of check, in form of card, in form of cash. It is actually not required in this model, right? So in that case, I will go and declare that class as abstract, and I will ensure that tables are getting created for concrete classes. So these are three different strategies actually which is adopted by all ORMs. Is that clear, Anurag? Okay, we are going to use single table per hierarchy as of now. Okay, just in order to make you comfortable in writing mapping and all, I'm doing this. Okay, once you are up with this efficiency, I'll be covering both of them, all three, right? So usually what I do is I cover one or two, and then one I give as an exercise. Is that clear? It's clear, right? Yeah, even if they are there in the same hierarchy level, it's not going to make difference because your database is not bothered about what hierarchy level there. If you will save card payment instance, it will go and save it in the same table. If you will save check payment, it will go and save it in the same table. If you will create instance, it will go and save it in the same one. Anurag, you have two types of classes in Java. One is abstract classes and second is concrete classes. Abstract classes are classes which cannot be instantiated or whose instance cannot be created. You got it, right? And concrete classes are classes whose instances can be created. Okay, fine. So there is some terminology difference. Okay, fine. So shall we move now and see how to implement this? Yes, here all three are concrete, Anurag. Payment is also concrete because I have not declared this payment as abstract. If I declare it as abstract, then it becomes abstract entity exposure. As of now, all three are concrete. Okay, now we are going to use strategy 1. We need to do nothing. We have to just go there. And we create another HTML, we can write in the same HTML. Let me go and create. Why would someone use an abstract class? Whenever we go and do payment, right, I have to either pay by card or pay by cash or pay by check, right? So actually we will be in a situation where we need not create any instance of a payment. We are using payment in order to get benefit of inheritance, in order to get reusable. At a particular level of hierarchy, if you are not aware about implementation, until and unless you don't get further details, you will declare that method as abstract. And any class which has abstract method has to be abstract. Is that clear? So in our scenario also, if you see, if some customer pays, either he will pay by card or he will pay by check. So not even a single instance will be there where we need to create an instance of payment. Okay. So we can say that payment can be an abstract class because we don't need any instance. We need just, oh my god. Okay. Is that fine now? Is that fine? I need to check it again. It's very quick. Okay, I think streaming is improper. Okay, now is it clear? Fine. Now is it clear? Right. So when it comes to abstract class, why we go for abstract classes? Because we don't need any instance of type. All the benefits of inheritance, we use this hierarchy, right? But we don't want anyone to just go and create instance of payment because details will not be there of the payment, right? So it's up to the architect, it's up to the analyst who will decide. Okay, right. So now we are going to write mapping so that my ORM is able to manage this inheritance. Okay, as I told you, we can go with a different HTML file or we can, hello, can you type down the message if you are not able to hear me properly? Fariha? Just give me a minute. It's okay, Mr. Sanjay, no problem. Are you able to hear me? Fariha, now is that fine? Okay, fine. So now, okay. Now if you see what I was talking about here was, we have a choice. Either we go with the same HDM or we can go with a different HDM also. Okay, right? It's up to you. You can classify. For example, all customer related classes I can keep in one HBM file. Let me go and create one more HBM here so that you are in practice of looking at this also. I'll go to others, I'll select this, click on next. I'll just remove this, I don't need because I am creating everything on my own, and I will name here this HBM as inheritance 1. Okay. Now are you able to see? So now are you able to see? I'll cancel it again. Yeah, we are there only blog project.html. So if you see here, I'm going to create a new HBM file, new others HBM. Next, I don't need it, so I'll remove it. Click on next. Give a name, whatever name you want. So let me give it a name called inheritance 1. Click on finish. It is creating the HBM file.
Niranjan, the screen is stuck. We cannot see whatever you are doing.
Let it create. Yeah. Are you able to see now source? I am there on source. Are you able to see the source?
No.
One. I'm just sharing my screen, you see. Now is it visible? Are you able to see my screen now? Are you able to see my screen? I stopped some servers here. Okay, fine. So I was talking about we can have one HBM or we can have multiple HBMs, right? Depending on classification, we can go and we can specify multiple HBM files. Again, steps are redundant, you see. I'll just go here and take package, and I'll specify here name of the package from wherever I want to know. So good practice is all entity classes should be specified in the same package, right? And whenever you are changing a package, better is to go with a different HBM file, let's say. I'll take here class. Now see, it's all matter of knowing the DTP. So what we are doing is, Fariha, we are going to implement strategy 1 for managing the inheritance, so that when I create instance of check payment and when I make call to save, it should go and save it in some database. Okay, that's what we are doing. Class, I'm taking class name. I'll specify here name of my superclass payment. I'll give a table name here. Table equal to, I'll write payment super 1. Okay, just the name so that we can differentiate. In this opening and closing, I will start up with something. See, you have to understand it properly so that you can. I'll start up with ID, right? And then I'll have certain properties, right, which are there in payment. So I have two. One is payment ID and second one is amount. Payment ID is ID. So I'll just go here and take name is payment ID. Payment amount here, because amount is something which is a normal property. With ID I have to be specific. I have to go and specify name of that particular column or that particular attribute which actually is mapped with primary key. No, that's what I told you. You can have multiple HBM files and you can have a single HBM file in which you can write multiple classes. Okay, it depends how you are classified. For example, all persistence management that I will do regarding you say credit cards, I'll do it in a single HBM. All persistence that I will specify regarding user management, I will do in a different HBM file. So that classification depends on you, how you are classified. I'll just go here, I'll take generator, and as usual we'll take assigned here. Right, now superclass is ready. Fine. Now if you see here how actually your Hibernate will be able to know that which row of the table is the right candidate to be used for creating an instance of check payment or card payment. Right. So Hibernate is asking you, give me some hint so that I can quickly go and get you card payment or check payment depending on some internal hint, and that internal hint is discriminator column. Okay, so I am going to create or add here a discriminator column that will be internally used by Hibernate. It will not be part of your, okay, see, you will have a table and then you will have your object model. Now Hibernate is asking, can you give me some hint so that I can go and quickly decide which row in the table is the right row for card payment or for check payment. So basically he is asking, can you go and add one extra column to your table which helps me to differentiate between card payment and check payment rows, right? For that we are taking discriminator column. Okay, I am specifying here pay type. Is that clear? It's clear, right? Okay. Now next, after specifying ID, discriminator and property of all superclass elements, you will go with subclass. I'll tell you that. Let me come to that association. There are various other type of relations, like association is there, then collection mapping is there, then composite keys are there, right? So there are various types. I am as of now discussing about relation, which is inheritance. Okay. Fine. So I'll just go here and I'll take subclass. If you see here in subclass, I have to specify name, whatever is name of my subclass. Like I have card payment here and check payment. So I'll take card payment. And within opening and closing of subclass, I will specify all specific properties of that particular subclass. I'll get here amount. I'll get card number. And please don't forget to add one more attribute, and that is discriminator value. I'll write card. So whenever you will save an instance of card payment, automatically your Hibernate will update this discriminator column with this value called as card. Is that clear? It's clear, right? Fine. So are you able to see the link between discriminator column and discriminator value? This is what is discriminator column that you have specified, and for each subclass you will specify a discriminator value, right? Same thing I will do for others also. I'll go and I'll create one more subclass because I have two subclasses. I'll specify here name. Now this time it is check payment, so I'll just go for check payment, opening, closing. And I should not forget, okay, if someone is saving instance of check payment, then what should be the value in discriminator? I'll write here CHQ. And then specific properties. That's it. Done. Right? Now I'll just go here. Let it process. I'll save all. Next task is to go and update this HDM file in your Hibernate CLG. So I'll go here. I'll copy. I'll paste. And I will specify name of my new HDM file. Done. Anurag, all done, right? Are you there? Okay, fine. Next is to test our program. So I'll go to client and see what I'm doing. It's the same session factory and all. Instead of user info now, I'll delete it from here. Rest of the statements will be common. I will go and create an instance of card payment. Please look at it. Card payment. CP equal to new card payment. Next, populate it with the values. Set payment ID, right, 222. CP dot set card number, right here some number. Then CP dot set amount, right here some amount. Object is ready. And now I'll make call to save. So I'll write here session dot save. Yes, we are creating instance of card payment, right? And we will see that whatever columns, whatever attributes are not part of card payment, they will be null. Okay. I'll just go here and save it. Is that fine? Let's see what insert statement is generated. Are you able to see here? And if you see payment type, automatically your Hibernate has assigned that. You have not assigned this card, right? Is that clear? If you will see the table structure, I'll go to the table. You know, I have to connect and disconnect. Oh, can you repeat this again? Okay. See, all attributes which are mapped to the table using superclass and subclass tag, right, will be managed by us except one, that is discriminator column. Depending on what instance you are saving. If you will save instance of card payment, automatically your Hibernate will go and assign value as card to the discriminator column, right? So you will not be using it. So that is the column which is managed by Hibernate. It is not managed by developer. And for what it uses so that when next time when you ask, give me an instance of type card payment, instead of going and searching on all rows, it can narrow down its search. It can go to that discriminator column, get those instances which are of type card, and then finally go and fetch. Okay. So it uses for its own purpose, so that it can remember the link and it can understand which row will be suitable candidate for card payment or check payment. I'll just go to the table. You go here, and if you see here we have payment super, columns. Instead of column, let me go and see the value. And if you see, you have this value. Check number is null. Okay, nothing is there here because check number is not relevant. Is that clear? For printing the insert in log, what we need to write? We have already written, right? I'll show you. Show SQL is what we have to write. You see, this is what we have to write. Is that fine? Right. So enough for today. Okay. Fine. So what I'll ask him to go and upload the video as soon as he wakes up in the morning, and it will be there with you. And you try to clean your hands. Like try to you say get efficient in using the ID and writing the mapping file, writing csv.xml. Okay. Fine. Then we can focus on various things. We are still left with other crucial or important things in Hibernate like association mapping and all. But once you are thorough with CFG, you are thorough with writing small HDF files, small POJOs, then it becomes easy for me to go and show all this to you. Okay. Is that clear? Yeah, I'll make you the presenter right now and we can do it, Karima. In case if others are in problem, they will also see. I'm making you the presenter. Just show me your environment. So you are the presenter now. Just share your desktop. Yeah, and show me what is the problem. Click on Eclipse shortcut.
I installed that SQL server, but it's not running. So I uninstalled it. I don't know what was the.
Okay. Just go to your start button and write services.msc there. Yes, services.msc. Yeah. See whether MySQL is there or not. Because usually when you do that, right, it adds a service. M. You don't have, right? It's not installed. Just go to google.com. Yeah. I feel in one of this we have done. One of the videos, no, it will be there. Okay. Now write here MySQL server download. You have to always select the right download. Yeah. Now go to MySQL community server. Yes. Go. This is there, right? Go up. All general availability. See, we can go with all in one also. Just download this MSI. Download the MSI. Yes, that's good. You download that. With this, you can install all required utilities. Okay, this one 240 3 MB, 243 MB download. Yeah. No thanks. Just start my download. Will take time. Have you downloaded this earlier?
Yes, I did.
So go there where you have downloaded. Just launch that. Just launch that, right? MS SQL Server. Where is the installer community? Is there? Is there? Down. Just come once.
There's
11th. Yeah, MySQL installer community. It's a yes. Right now, double click on that. You have downloaded many flavors, many versions of.
I have tried so many times. I don't know what's the
Okay. Let this start.
too slow. Should I stop the time download?
No. Sometimes we need to have patience. So just go. It will take time because it reads your system configuration and all.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some time. Well, let it do. Don't worry.
I even tried to download the Camp Studio, but it didn't work.
Okay. For recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Why it is not working? It should work, no? Cam Studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now the videos are there.
Okay. You don't worry. It takes some time because it reads packages and all whatever is there in your Windows. So it takes time. The step takes time. Once it is done, after that it will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because it inflates to 43 MB. It extracts that package, reads it, and prepares config. So it takes some time. And yes, it depends on the system also.
When it installs it, it says unable to start server.
Okay. We'll see what is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Might be registry entries are made on. Where is went? Okay. Now it is coming. You have 8 GB or 4 GB?
Mm-hmm. What 8 GB?
Okay. You just go and click on this down icon. Okay. Yeah. Now install MySQL product. First one. Accept the license. Next. Select skip the updates. Skip the updates. Next. Now custom. Select custom. Last one. The data path already exists. 1 second. It's already you have already tried installing it, right? Okay. Be here. Go back to your C program data and delete that MySQL.
Should I see it from
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. From here. C program data. Yeah, go to computer. Open it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not here.
Okay, fine. We'll see. Just go there to the installer and change the path first. Go back. Go back. Change the path. The data path and yes, click here.
We should
Select some other path.
see.
Okay, okay, cancel it and continue. We'll see. Just my
Hello. I cannot hear. I cannot hear you.
yes. Now what you have to do is requirements, execute. It needs all that. I have, yeah, select that. Click on install. Click on finish. Now it is installing the updates. So everywhere green should be there. Next. Install. Let this complete the process. Yeah, now finish. If you see all prerequisites are met now, go to next. Now here, if you see all these components will get installed. Click on execute. Install success. So let it install. All should be success. Then we will go and configure it.
Okay. So last time it gave an error on net connector.
ProDBC is fine. You just go and click on next. Yeah, next. Now here be careful. Go to config type and change it to server machine. Okay, and select show advanced option. In advanced configuration you will have yes. Click on next. Now current root password. What password you have given earlier? Root. You remember?
Root.
Do you remember, because this was the current one? Okay, we'll try. Just give root again here and repeat password. Next.
User, no.
No, just go and click on next. Yeah, click on next. Next. Let's see if it is successful. Okay, otherwise have to go and uninstall it again, delete all the directories, go to the registry entry, change it there.
See, it was stuck here.
And it is added. Yeah, wait. I need to see success there.
Here it says it cannot start server.
Yeah, wait. Don't click anywhere. Let this process get completed. Click on show details first.
So when I have already uninstalled everything, why would
registry entry will be there and files will be there, right? Files and directories, so all that we have to do.
Oh, so the password will be there?
Yeah, then it will not be. If you clean the system, it will not be there. Like you go there to your start menu and write reg edit there. REG edit. Yeah, just go to local machine. And just go to softwares. Don't delete it now. In this you see you have MySQL added. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, then you need not delete from here. But if it is added, then we have to. Okay, let's go there and see what it is saying in the.
It was stuck in the same place last time.
Okay, no, we'll have to wait. Because until this, it will not throw any error. Just go and write services.msc there. You already have the services tab open. Just go and see this. It should do something. Is it stuck or?
How can I check the same port?
3303, it's not running because it is saying attempting to start service. It means service is not started.
Maybe regular something else is running on that.
Oracle will not have conflict with MySQL actually.
Oh, so that port should be empty, right?
Yeah, 3306 is there. And if it is port conflict, it will show you the error.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel it once. Yes. Now go to your start menu. And there you will have MySQL all programs. Go to all programs. No, all programs is there, right? In this you see where is MySQL is there. Yeah, click on that. In this you have MySQL utilities. You just go to MySQL utilities. No, you go to MySQL Server 5.6. MySQL Server 5.6. Just click on command line once. You will check it from here. No, it's not running. It's not installed properly. The only option is we have to go and we have to uninstall, delete the directories, and then reinstall.
But I already uninstalled that time.
No, but files are not deleted, no?
Yeah.
All this you have to delete. Okay, just carry on with the process. Uninstall and delete the files. Go to program files, there you'll have MySQL, delete that. Go to MySQL, wherever you get, delete everywhere. And then we'll try.
But it's okay. So okay.
You have MySQL installer also installed here. Anurag, you can go because I feel that we have already done it on your system, so it's fine. Sanjay, you can also leave because this is a different issue. Yeah, we have to resolve it. He has to do all tasks, it will take another 15-20 minutes. Okay? I'll be on mute to do that.
I'm sorry, I'm taking too much of your time. Hello?
x86 ones.
Yes. I deleted all of them.
Okay, that's fine. But you go and delete it physically also from the folders. Go to C drive. Go
Should I
to
delete this?
not required. That is okay. Go to program files. See if it is there. MySQL here. Anything related to MySQL? Nothing is there. Go back.
It's not here.
Yeah, go back.
Go
back. Go back to C drive. Yeah. Now go to x86. Program files x86. See if it is there here. Yeah, it's there, right? Delete it. It's there. MySQL is there. Delete.
Should I delete this one too?
No, that is my Microsoft SQL server. You don't delete that.
Oh, okay.
Now go to your installer. Yeah, MySQL community. Double click on that. Again, read and date time. skip that, click on next, select server only, select custom, yes, select custom, go to next. Yes, now in this, wait, you just go and in MySQL server, right, you just select MySQL server, client program, yeah, unselect all except MySQL server and client program. Yes, now go to application, wait, go to application, go back, go to application. Yeah, now here you just select workbench, select workbench. Yes, now go to MySQL connector, just select connector J, right, documentation uncommented, uncomment documented. Yeah, go for next, go for execute. Finish. Next. Yeah, next. Click on show details. Keep this open. Yeah, click on next. Yeah. Config type server machine. Yes. Show advanced option. Next. Again, it is asking current user. Not. Click on next.
Next.
Yeah. Next. Somewhere it has made some entry which it is not deleting.
Should I do a system restore to some previous date?
Yeah, that also, that if you will do, you will be able to at least.
Then it will.
Yeah, it will uninstall this. Otherwise, you have to go and search entry in registry. It's happening because of that only.
Should I do?
Oracle, go to Oracle. This is Oracle. Go up. We have to locate it actually. It will not be there in Java.
Search option.
No, you will not have. Go to find, edit, find. Right here, MySQL. See, so many are there, right? So all this needs to be deleted actually. It's there, installer features. But problem is there, if you will do some incorrect entry will get deleted, now your system will crash. I don't suggest this. Better is to restore to a previous state.
Okay. Okay, I will do that.
If it works fine, otherwise we will see what we can do.
Okay. Our next class is on Saturday?
Yeah, as per schedule it is there. Whatever is the schedule, right? That is as per schedule.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.